Have you ever felt completely trapped in a relationship or a dynamic where logic just doesn't apply? Where you feel like you're constantly on trial defending your own reality? Well, here's the thing. The reason they still control you isn't because they're powerful. It's because your subconscious is still programmed to seek their approval. And as long as that's true, you're stuck in their version of reality.
This quote right here, it gets to the absolute core of the problem. It's not about who's stronger or who has the better argument. It's about deep-seated psychological programming. This need for their approval, it becomes this hidden loyalty to their story, forcing you to doubt yourself just to keep the peace.
And that's exactly why you can't logic your way out of this. It's not about explaining yourself better or winning an argument. See, a manipulator's goal isn't to be proven right, it's to make you feel wrong. They're not targeting your logic, they're targeting your self-worth, your emotional stability. Basically, they're performing an emotional rewrite that completely destabilizes your sense of who you are.
So today, we're going to change that program. We are going to deconstruct the manipulator's playbook piece by piece and give you the tools you need to reclaim your own mind. Okay, so to break out of this cage, we first have to understand how the bars are even constructed. So let's dive into the core tactics that are used to keep you locked inside. First up is a big one, gaslighting. This is where a manipulator systematically dismantles your reality. They will insist that things you clearly remember, well, they never happened, or that you're just remembering it wrong. And the whole point is to make you doubt yourself so much that you stop trusting your own judgment. Eventually, you start relying on their version of events instead of your own.
And you've probably heard these phrases, right? They sound so familiar. But here's the trick. These aren't genuine questions. They're accusations, totally designed to put you on the defensive. It immediately shifts all the blame onto you, making you the problem for simply reacting to their behavior. It is a classic move to dodge any and all accountability.
Next on the list is devaluing. You can think of this as this constant, slow chipping away at your self-worth. Narcissistic people genuinely cannot stand to see you feel good about yourself because your confidence is a direct threat to their sense of control. It's a tactic some experts call leveling. They have to tear you down to make sure they always feel like they're in the superior position.
So, what is fueling all of this behavior? Well, that brings us to this really fascinating concept, narcissistic supply. See, because narcissists often have this profound sense of internal emptiness. They need constant validation from the outside world just to feel okay. And this supply can be anything: praise, admiration, arguments, even your sadness. Your emotional reaction, good or bad, is their fuel.
So the most crucial thing to realize here is that these tactics aren't just random. They're all symptoms of a very predictable pattern. A lack of empathy is what allows them to hurt you without feeling bad about it. That sense of entitlement makes them believe they deserve your attention, your supply. And their complete inability to take responsibility is exactly why they resort to things like gaslighting and rage. It all fits together like a very toxic puzzle.
Okay, so we've identified the bars of the cage, we see how they're built, but how do we find the key? Well, it all starts with a huge, fundamental shift in your perspective.
This is so important. You cannot win an argument with someone who is playing a different game entirely, a game where they get to invent the rules and create their own reality as they go. Every single time you try to reason with them, you're just keeping yourself on their board, and you're feeding them the supply they crave. The only winning move is to stop playing.
And that leads us to the most critical step of all, summed up perfectly here by Dr. Ramani: radical acceptance. Now, this does not mean you approve of their behavior. Not at all. It means you accept the cold, hard reality that this person and their destructive patterns are not going to change. This acceptance, it isn't for them. It is 100% for you. It's the moment of clarity you need to finally stop trying to fix the unfixable and start focusing on your own freedom.
So with that acceptance in hand, let's move into our final section, which is all about an actionable plan. This is the recovery protocol. Think of it as 4 concrete steps for taking back the keys to your own life. All right, let's break this down. Step 1, you have to starve the supply. You do this using something called the gray rock method. It means you become as uninteresting and unreactive as, well, a gray rock. You deny them the emotional fuel they're desperate for. Step 2,
Re-anchor your reality. Some therapists suggest keeping a truth journal. Write down what actually happened. This validates your own experiences and is a powerful weapon against gaslighting. Third, you have to set hard boundaries by stopping JADE. That stands for no more justifying, arguing, defending, or explaining. You don't owe them a dissertation on why your boundaries exist. And finally, whenever it's possible, the most effective step is the final exit. No contact. This cuts off their supply for good and gives you the space you absolutely need to heal.
At the end of the day, manipulation only works when your mind is open to being rewritten by someone else. The moment you stop accepting their edits, the moment you realize that you are the only one who gets to be the author of your story, their power just vanishes. It's time to pick up the pen and start writing a new chapter.